What is up YouTube? NewsCrawl here. In this video, we're going to be installing underglow on the E46 Drift Car, so let's get right to it. So for my setup, I'm going to be using the Day Better LED kit from Amazon. Now this is intended for indoor use only. This isn't really meant for a car, but I'm going to use it anyway. It comes with a power block, an LED controller, and of course your LED lights. This LED strip is backed with some 3M tape, so that's how I plan on attaching this to the car. Now I don't plan to run this strip along the entire car because obviously there's going to be spots that are lit up that really shouldn't be lit up. So I'm going to be pairing this with this RGB extension cable with these little clips, which honestly, looking at it, I have no idea how this is going to work. It looks pretty garbage. I was playing with it a little bit earlier and yeah, this setup doesn't make sense, but I already bought it, so I gotta work with what I got. Now because this kit isn't really meant to be used on a car where it's going to be seeing stuff like dust and water and things of that nature, it probably isn't the best for what I'm intending to use it for. That said, if you want to use the same setup that I'm going to be using, you can go ahead and check the link in the description. That way you can run it on your car or in your room or wherever you want to use it. Now if you've been with the channel long enough, you probably know that this car already had underglow at one point in its lifetime, but you already know what happened. Problem with that setup was that it was a single color setup. If I wanted something that was a little bit more flexible, I'm probably spending like 100 plus, whereas this was a lot cheaper. I don't remember how much, but it was definitely cheaper. So let's see if it ends up working in my favor. So I'm pretty much going to set it up the same way I had it before, except now that I have an intercooler, not only do I want to light up the floor, I also want to light up the intercooler. Extra style points. Obviously I'm going to be running underglow on the sides and on the rear. So let's see how it turns out. Okay, so after doing some searching, I think I have a plan. So I'm going to use this extension cable, and I pretty much just like expose the wire. I use heat shrink to kind of secure the wire to these little prongs, and then this clip is holding it down, so it's actually pretty secure. I'm tugging on it pretty good right now, so I'm confident that that's going to stay. Obviously it's not waterproof, but whatever, I'm not worried about that. And that should allow me to connect to the regular RGB strip as it's designed. And then there's one heat shrink on there, so I kind of just slid the wire in, heated it up so that it tightened up on itself, closed it, and I'm gonna hope for the best. Alright, so here's the setup so far. I have a switch somewhere right here. You can see that it's on, and I have it going to some butt connectors, and that goes to, obviously that's not 100% done yet, that's also the wrong size butt connector, but it's working. And I have it going to the controller and to the LEDs. If I just take the remote, boom, should work. I also did the same thing for the other side so that I can run the pin connector, and this will plug in directly to the controller. That way I can run my extension wire to wherever I have my LED strips. So thankfully it looks like it's going to work with the setup that I have with the extension wires and the connectors and all that stuff. I didn't really have much faith in it, but I have a plan. So let's get to wiring this up. Let's mount some LED strips. I can't wait to see how this looks. Woo! Got the sides done, the rear is done, and this side is also done. I haven't fully kind of routed the wires yet. I'm probably just gonna zip tie to something, but for the most part, the lights are mounted. Okay, so just finished up. I have my controller mounted right here on my roll cage, and I have the wire going into the engine bay to right there. Goes down that hole into the wheel well, and then under the car somewhere, like right there. Then it routes kind of on whatever lines I could find inside here. I have the rear RGB strip right on the spare tire well on the bottom. Same thing, I have the line routed on whatever lines I could find, like zip tied and all that stuff. Zip tied to my control arm. I have some access right there. And the difference between my last setup and this setup is I'm going to be running intercooler lights as well as front lights.